Hello, this is Dr. K.S. Raut, Department of Zoology, Rajarshi Shahu Mahavidyalya. In today's lecture, we will focus upon the circulatory system of rat. As we know, number of systems are present in the living beings, and one of the important system is the circulatory system, which is present in the rat. And the circulatory system of the rat resembles to the human beings, because rat is a mammal and we are all are the mammals, and circulatory system is responsible for circulation of the blood in the body. And the circulatory system in rat, it is responsible for transportation of the nutritional material to the each and every cell, and it is even responsible for collection of the excretory products from the body. So, like human beings, the heart of rat consists of 4 chambers. 2 are the auricles and 2 are the ventricles. Auricles are the receiving chambers and ventricles are distributing chamber. And you can see the position of the heart of rat. You can find that this is the location of the heart rat, which is present in the thoracic cavity, and it is present beneath or in between the 2 lungs, because heart requires the deoxygenated blood to be purified from the lungs and oxygenated blood to be received from the lungs. So it is located. So here you can see the position of the heart. It is present in the thoracic cavity. At the base it is having the diaphragm, and heart is covered in the, or it is covered in the pericardium, which is having the pericardial fluid, and this pericardial fluid protects the heart from the jerks. So here heart, it is having the 4 chambers, 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Auricles are separated by intra-auricular septum, ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. From the outer side, we cannot distinguish in between the which are the auricles and which are the ventricles. So this is not possible, but in anatomy it is possible. So the heart, it is having the blood vessels, then 4 chambers of the heart are present, and here the blood is circulated within the body with the help of the arteries and veins. So here, if you observe the heart anatomy, then we come to know that the heart, as it is similar to the human being's heart, it works as a pumping organ, and the blood vessels circulate the blood within the body, and the lungs oxygenate the blood, and that oxygenated blood is supplied to each and every part of the body. So here heart, it is a pumping organ or pump set. Auricles are receiving chambers, these are thin walled. Ventricles are distributing chamber, these are thick walled. Blood vessels are their arteries which carry the pure blood away from the heart to all organs, but here one exception is there, pulmonary artery, which carries the impure blood. Then veins, these are carry the impure blood towards the heart for purification, and here pulmonary vein is the exception, which receives the oxygenated blood from lungs and distribute to the all body parts. So the blood capillaries involved in the diffusion of the respiratory gases. Heart of rat, as we know, it is made up of 4 chambers, and here if you observe the blood vessels, different types of the blood vessels, if you observe the structure of the heart, we can come to the structure. Here the 4 chambered heart is shown, and these 2 are the auricles and 2 are the ventricles. So here right auricle opens into right ventricle by the tricuspid valve. Left auricle opens into left ventricle by the mitral or bicuspid valve. So four chambers are here. Now let us see internally what is there in the heart in its anatomy. If you observe, this is the superior vena cava, which opens into the right auricle. This is the inferior vena cava, which opens into the right auricle. Inferior vena cava brings the blood, impure blood, in the right auricle, and superior vena cava brings the blood from the superior or upper region of the body, and inferior vena cava brings the blood from the inferior region of the body. And here this blood is impure here and it is collected into the right auricle. Right auricle opens into right ventricle with the help of the tricuspid valve, and when this right auricle is fully filled with blood by the pressure, it opens into the right ventricle, and this valve will open by the pressure, and this valve goes, or this valve gives the blood into the right ventricle. At this time, the right ventricle, now it is filled with blood. See, the auricles and ventricles, their contraction and relaxations are alternate. Auricles contract, ventricles will relax. Ventricles contract, auricles relax. Auricles contract, ventricles relax. This rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart muscles, as we know, heart is made up of the special type of the muscles which are known as cardiac muscles, which are having the own contraction and relaxation capacity, and here the when the ventricles will contract, the blood will rush towards the lungs with the help of the pulmonary artery, which carries the impure or deoxygenated blood, and this blood is taken into the lungs where the blood is purified. So here this blood rushes to the lungs, it gets purified. After purification of the blood, auricles, ventricles contract, then that pure blood is coming from the lungs into the left auricle with the help of the pulmonary veins. This pulmonary vein will bring the pure blood or oxygenated blood from the lungs into the left auricle. See, the right side of the heart contains deoxygenated blood and left side of the heart contains the pure blood. Now see, when the blood is brought into the left auricle, fully filled, the auricles will contract, and now the blood will enter into the left ventricle, and this wall is guarding there, and this wall is called as the mitral or bicuspid valve. This valve do not allow the blood to flow from ventricle to auricle, and when the left ventricle contract, the blood is pumped into the aorta, and this aorta is having now the oxygenated blood, and this oxygenated blood is supplied to each and every part of the body. See, our circulatory system or the rat circulatory system is similar to human being. It is double circulation is present here, and this double circulation can be seen like this. Here the circulatory mechanism of rat is, it can be divided into two parts: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation refers to the circulation of the blood between the heart and lungs. It is deoxygenated blood. Pulmonary circulation carries the deoxygenated blood, or it is having the deoxygenated blood, or it gives the deoxygenated blood from the heart to lungs. While systemic circulation is the circulation of the blood between the heart and rest of the body, excluding the lungs. Lungs are not here in the systemic circulation. Aorta and rest of the body, this circulation takes place, and the pure blood is given to each and every part of the body. So the at the same time, if you observe in the heart, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are kept. So this type of circulation is found in case of the higher organisms only, and here the pulmonary arteries and pulmonary veins or pulmonary trunks are usually guarded by the semilunar valves, and these semilunar valves do not allow the backward flow of the blood. It works from a single direction, or it works in the single direction. No backward direction flow is allowed. So here this all different types of the blood vessels, if you observe, then we come to know that the heart inferior vena cava is large vein running from the diaphragm, and internally if you observe the left superior vena cava or the vena cava, the main function of the vena cava, superior and inferior vena cava, they collect the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body and bring into the right side which opens into the auricle, opens into ventricle, right ventricle, and gives the blood to the lungs for purification via pulmonary artery. So this is very important, that how and in which way we summarize the internal structure of the heart. And this internal structure, when you summarize perfectly, then it is easy to explain the working of the heart. When we study the anatomy of the heart, at the same time we should remember that how the auricles are connected with the ventricles of the both side, how the walls are present. The right side is having the tricuspid wall, and left side is having the mitral or bicuspid wall, and the walls are very important. And right and left auricle, if you observe, they are looking like the ear, and these structures are, it is impossible for distinguish from the external side. Therefore we have to take the help of the anatomy. And in the anatomy, when you observe the structure of the heart, then we come to know that the heart is internally spatially designed structure, which is having, or the heart is made up of the spatial muscle. It is called as these muscles are called the cardiac muscles, and heart is protected in the pericardial cavity, and this pericardial cavity is the covering of the pericardium. And this heart and pericardium, there is pericardial fluid, and this fluid is protective, and it helps to minimize the shocks of the jerks to the heart. And here this internal structure, if you observe perfectly, then we can write the long answer questions. Even internal structure understanding is important, and this I will revise once again how the internal structure of the heart or the rat heart works. Here by this diagram you can not only explain the anatomy of the heart of rat, but at the same time you can explain the working of the heart. So here this superior and inferior vena cava both will bring the blood here in the left auricle. From the left auricle, the tricuspid wall, it opens into the right ventricle. When rushes to the ventricle, this wall gets closed and the blood rushes to the pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery is carrying the impure blood, and this impure blood is taken to the two sides of the lungs, and this blood gets purified there. So here, when the blood gets purified, at the same time the blood will be brought into the lungs by the pulmonary veins. Now the pure blood, after oxygenation from the lungs, the pure blood or oxygenated blood is brought into the left side of the heart. This blood, when comes here, it is to be given to the rest of the body, and here the left auricle opens into left ventricle by this bicuspid or tricuspid wall. Then blood comes here in the left ventricle, and this left ventricle here, when the ventricles will contract, the blood will rush to the aorta, and from aorta the blood will be provided, or it will be distributed to each and every part of the body. So here the main thing is that the heart is the pumping organ made up of spatial cells, spatial tissue, or the spatial muscle fibers. Cardiac muscles are there. Heart is having the pericardium. The pericardium is internally having the pericardial fluid. Heart is made up of 4 chambers, 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Auricles are separated by intra-auricular septum. Ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. Right auricle and right ventricle are having the guarding of the tricuspid wall. Left auricle and left ventricles are having, or it is guarded by the mitral wall. And here the superior and inferior vena cava bring the impure blood into the right auricle and gives the blood to the lungs for purification through the pulmonary artery. And this is exceptional. The pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins are exception to the blood vessels, which are not having the blood as the other blood vessels have. Now this is the internal structure, this is the anatomical aspect of the heart, and if you observe, you have to explain about the, you have to explain about the components of the heart right from the beginning. If you observe, you have to explain that rats are the rodents, these are the mammals and having the similar heart like human beings, but it is the heart of the rat is a miniature of the mammalian heart. You know very well, in the space research the rats are used for they are transported to the different planets for study, and the after study, if the rats are surviving, then it is said that human beings can even survive there. So these are used. So here the this is all about the structure of the heart, and if you observe the function, so the deoxygenated or oxygenated blood, deprived blood from the entire body is carried by the veins. All veins terminate into the three main veins, right superior vena cava, left superior vena cava, and inferior vena cava. The right and left superior vena cava are responsible for carrying blood from the right and left side of the head and neck, while the inferior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from the lower region of the body in the right auricle. Then the normal functioning of the entire circulatory system depends upon the health and vigor of the pumping organ, that is heart and blood vessels. So the lungs also play an important role as they supply much needed oxygen to the blood, which is then circulated throughout the body. So normally we know in human beings the blood pressure is 120/80, and here this normal blood pressure in case of the human beings or in any organism denotes that the heart working is proper and all the system is normally working, so no need for any another medicines. If the pressure of the heart gets more or lowers, at that time we have to take the medicine. So here this is all about the circulatory system of rat, and the next point we'll discuss in our next lecture. Thank you.